Hey, beautiful souls. So, I wanted to talk to you guys about relationships um, because I always knew this, but it was like really in my meditation this morning, it kind of hit home with more understanding as far as our relationship with God or Source, the Most High, whatever, how, whatever you go by. That relationship is an individual like relationship between you and Source, right? So just like any other relationship, I was thinking about I'm like, okay, what what does it take to have a successful relationship? Um Communication is one thing. Um Trust is important in a relationship. Um Understanding is compromise. All of those things are very much so important in a healthy relationship. Um, so I was thinking about that, and I was just thinking about like that in relation to the Most High and or the Source and the relationship that you have with them through your spirit. So this is just my thoughts on it, right? So I'm like, okay, so I know that we have this body, this flesh that we're here while we're on this earth and in this realm, we have this body, right? But we also have a spirit inside of us. That spirit has that divine connection with source. It's a part of source. It is a part of the collective, right? Of all of us. And so we all are a piece of God, a piece of source, because our spirits are made, like from that source, and we're a part of that source. So that's pretty much like, our beautiful souls united. Like our beautiful, all of our souls are a piece of this grand source of energy, right? That people call God. And the relationship part of it, because I'm very spiritual, not religious, spiritual. So I'm looking at it like, okay, so step outside of what the world and the Bible may tell you. It's very important that you have outside of that your own individual relationship between yourself or spirit and the Most High, the Source, God. Is very imperative that you create that relationship like you would any other relationship, where you can't have a successful relationship without communication. So talk to source, like make sure you spend time with source, make sure that you actually have conversations, you which take two part listening, understanding, right, about what you're hearing, about what you're feeling led to do. And with the spirit, I feel like people talk to the spirit in different ways. A lot of people have like that gut intuition feeling. Some people like, and then they're like that knowing, right? That's source speaking to you. You can hear source speak to you through your spirit. Like you can actually hear that soft whisper um, in your head where you're like, I know that's not me. It sounds like me, but I know that's not me, because I would never say that or think about that. I wasn't even thinking about that. I wasn't even like, at all. I wouldn't believe that on my own. I wouldn't say that because I wouldn't believe that on my own, right? That's the spirit, that source talking through the spirit, that gentle whisper. But you can also have a knowing, where you just feel it in the inside, like a gut feeling. You know that you're supposed to do this. It's so heavy on your spirit. It's like it's so heavy. You feel it so deeply, so that's another way. So communication is very important, right, in any relationship. I said trust was very important in any relationship, because when you do have that connection with source, and you do, and your spirit is guiding you and you are hearing it, like you have to have that trust that what you heard, what you felt, what you're feeling led to do, what you are, that's the trust aspect of it, right? So we have to have that trust part of it. One, knowing and trusting that we are definitely connected. We definitely have our own individual divine connection with source, and we can hear or feel source speaking with us. And we're going to trust that, we're going to trust in that connection. And then we're also going to trust in moving forward with whatever we hear. We're going to be that obedience part of like actually taking action on what you heard. So you have to trust in that action, right? In order to go ahead and take that leap of faith of doing what source is leading you to do, because a lot of the times it's outside of our comfort zone. And you guys know when we get outside of our comfort zone, things up in there don't things up in there get a little funny. They start saying a little bit of things that might be discouraging, or that might be like, I know better than to think like this. But that human flesh, activity, worldly activity gets up in there, and that brain starts trying to disencourage you, or you not having that full self-belief in yourself, right? So that's that trust in the relationship that you have, knowing that you have that divine connection, knowing that all things are happening for you as they should in their own divine time, and trusting in that time, and trusting in that relationship, so that you can have the trust enough to be obedient and listen when you're feeling led or guided to do something, right? So understanding compromise is another thing that I said. Okay, so let's talk about that, because that compromise, that's the part, right? So when we are in this spiritual journey and relationship and getting to know ourselves and getting to know source through going within, right? Y'all, before I go in there, I had this real, like, the source spoke to me so clearly. Like, how because like I say, I come from a religious background, and so how, well, now I'm feeling like it's a contradiction, but how people look up to the sky and they trying to recognize God or source. They like looking up in the sky. You might put your hands up in like a surrender mode and look up in the sky, and but then when you pray, you bow your head down. So I don't know, but but most of they're like God's in heaven and you look up in the sky and all of this, right? So I'm like having this really, really good meditation. I'm looking up and I'm like, I'm like talking to the Most High, looking up in the sky, and then my spirit clearly stated, stop looking up and looking in. Stop looking up and look in. And I'm like, okay, I know that, but it's just a habit of like what you created, the things that you just seen and that you did. And so I'm like talking up there like, no, go inside. I'm inside of you, go inside. And so I'm like, you know what? That's so true. So I don't do that anymore. I'm like, I don't even know. I'm like, I don't really look up or down. I don't feel like that even matters, but I am speaking to the God inside of me. I'm speaking to the source inside of me that has that divine connection with spirit. That's who I'm speaking to, So I'm like, I'm looking up, looking all around when the source lives in me and is in me. So I can just go within to have that relationship, Nobody can tell me what's right for me, what's wrong for me, what I should or shouldn't be doing, because that is your own personal relationship that you have. Trust me when I tell you, once you get on this journey and you are really seeking to do what the Most High has for you to do, and you're seeking to grow within inside and learn and develop and really get that spiritual connection with Source, is going to let you know individually what is good for you or not good for you, and that's why we can't judge people, because that's why they say don't judge, because what's good for you or wrong for you may not be equally the same for the next person. That they're on their own individual relationship and journey, right? So if they're really seeking the Most High and they are having like daily conversations and a connection with the Most High, and then the Most High is not telling them, they're not convicting, because you really, your spirit gets like a conviction of things that aren't good for you, or that the Most High don't want you to do. So how can you say that person next to you is getting the same conviction for the same thing, or is being led to do the same thing or not to do the same thing. You can't say that because it's their own personal relationship. So that's why we can't judge anybody for anything, because you don't know what their journey is. You don't know what the Most High has them doing. You don't know what source has them doing, or what path they're on. So it's not your path. So you really shouldn't even be worrying about it, because it's not your path in the first place. And you can't judge what that person's doing on their path, because they're doing the things that they're feeling led to do, or that their journey is taking them through on their path, right? So it's very individualized. So I don't understand how we have all of these rules, or set one book of rules for everybody, the Bible, where it like constricts you and tells you you have to do this, this, or that, this or this, or you're going to hell, pretty much is what religion teaches us. And I've come to just a different understanding of that, and I've come to a feeling of individualized, like individual relationship. And as my husband would say, write your own Bible. Have your own book, have your thing that's for you. I mean, we have to get out of this normal thought process of everybody's the same. If the Most High, like if the source, he created everybody, right? And we can all have our own individual fingerprints. Nobody's fingerprints on their hands. Nobody has this. Nobody has this fingerprint that I have. Nobody in this world other than me has this fingerprint, right? This is unique to me. It's mine. It identifies me. Nobody else in the world has it. So if Source can create all of this DNA for this worldly flesh in this realm that we're in, and he can create DNA for everybody to be different and unique, but we all got to follow the same rules, and we all got to follow the same Bible, and we all got to follow, like, or the man-made Bibles, different ones or books that they have out there. To me, that doesn't make sense, because it's like, how could he do us it so individually where nobody else is like us at all? Everybody has a different fingerprint, but we all got to follow the same thing. No, that's just not what I believe. I just believe that we can all have our own unique individual relationship. And if you are seeking that, if you are seeking to have that, you're going to be led and guided to do the things that you're supposed to do, that you're supposed to be doing in your journey, in your, that's it, on your journey, not anybody else. So it took me a while to like wrap my mind around that, because we are so programmed in believing that it's supposed to be one way, or whatever way that pretty much your family has decided. So at some point in some generations, because we keep it up generationally, normally it's like, if you are a Christian, then your mama was a Christian, your grandma and your great grandma, and it was just generations of Christians. If you were a Muslim, it's because your mama was a Muslim, or your daddy, and then their mamas and their, so it's not a lot of the times where we go seeking for ourselves. And when we break that and we do start to say, okay, well, you know what, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna just kind of read up for myself and get my own understanding. It's pretty much kind of a lot of where a lot of us start. Like, I'm just gonna get my own understanding, because some of the stuff I'm reading, it's not adding up for me. I got a lot of questions that can't nobody answer, so I'm going to like go inside and like start questioning some of the things that I'm reading, right? So then we do that, and then we start questioning some things that we're reading. Then you might go into another book, start reading on that, start questioning some of those things, and then eventually it just had to come to the point where I'm like, all right, let me put these books down for a second. Let me sit down, let me get quiet, let me go inside, let me seek that connection for myself, and let me hear and be led and be guided. And then you get so many downloads. Like, when you actually say, all right, I'm not, let me start fresh, clean slate. Let me wipe the board clean. Let me kind of forget everything that I was trained to think when I was younger and that my parents taught me, because that's what they were trained to think by their parents, and so on and so forth. Let me just wipe the slate clean and let me get my own understanding, and let me get my own relationship, and seek, the Most High from within myself and see what's right for me. Boy, I'm telling you, it's a game changer. It is a game changer. I know that when I was in the church, nobody in the church taught me. They didn't I mean, that wasn't even a conversation about controlling your, like, being aware of your energy and your emotions and what you're putting out and how it's creating your reality. Like, what you're putting out as far as energetically into the world is creating your reality, and that you need to go with inside yourself and seek the Most High. And because the Most High lives inside of you, because you have that divine connection with source and spirit, you can do anything is possible. You have it, but it starts with self. And a lot of the times these different religions and books want us to look for somebody else. Through somebody else, it has to be somebody else that has to save you. It has to be somebody else you have to go through to, get. It's always dependent upon somebody else to do something for you, when you have to do it yourself. You have to be the one to, nobody else is going to save you. So if you're waiting for somebody to come and save you, or somebody else to do it, then you're definitely, I mean, for me, I definitely couldn't start just keep depending on somebody else to come and save me and waiting for somebody else, because it's through me, because God is in me, and so he's in me, and through me we together can do things. So it takes action on my part. It takes me to do something. I'm not sitting around just praying and hoping that something happens, right? I'm knowing that it's going to happen because I am a part of the creation. I am a part, right? So you have the source, God, the Most High, and then you have you. Together you create. You're a co-creator in this thing. You play a part. So we can't sit around waiting on somebody else. We have to go inside, figure it out what it is for us that we're being led to do, what our spirit is telling us to do, and then do that. And then the I was saying, we talked about trust, and we talked about communication. Sacrifice is where I was before I got into that field. Okay, so the sacrifice is when you have that personal relationship, and like I said, you're going to be led to, like, what's right for you and what you shouldn't be doing. That's when the sacrifice comes in, because we're still in this 3D, this third dimension, in this realm of flesh and skin that we are on this earth. And so that has, this is, it's more, it tends to be in this realm more negative energy being pushed than positive energy. So for those that know how important the energy is, and how that has so much of a big impact on your life and your creation of your circumstances and situations, then the world definitely pushes towards the negative, right? So we are around, and if we have to leave out the house and go to work and go to the grocery store and go be in the world, it's going to come with a push of a lot of negativity, negative energy that we have to be aware of what's going on, and observe that, see that that's going on, but not absorb it, not take it in, not let it change our vibration, frequency, and energy, right? So nobody that I've ever talked to, as far as religion, going to church, has ever talked to me like this. It's just like, pray about it, God got you, just pray and believe that God got you, and that's it. But you can still do whatever you want. You can still go out here and you leave and do whatever, cuss people out, have all this kind of negative energy spewing out of your body, just be a mean, nasty individual. As long as you pray, And as long as you ask for forgiveness, I mean, you don't have to change anything about yourself. Just keep asking for forgiveness. And I'm like, I don't think, I mean, that don't work for me. That doesn't work for me. I don't know about y'all, beautiful souls, but I know we have a collective going on. And I know that my people, the people that are supposed to be hearing these messages are going to be getting these messages. So I know we kind of on the same frequency, right? So I'm like, that don't work for me. Like, I can't just continue. Like, that's not working. So now what else? And then I'm like, okay, let me do some things. Let me change some things, because I be looking at the story of like Jesus, and I'm like, Jesus was a great example of how you supposed to be. Like, everything was leading back to the Most High. Everything was just like, you know, if you believe in that story or not, it's just like that was a great example of like what we should be, right? We can all be little Jesus, right? Because we should all be walking with spirit first, like the Most High. That's the primary source that that's the message we're delivering is from him. It's always trying to lead people back to source. It's always, that part, and why can't we all do that? We shouldn't be like looking at somebody else to save us. We got to save ourselves. We have to save ourselves. We have to have our own personal relationship. We have to make the sacrifices of being obedient. Like, okay, of course you might want to do this, but if you're feeling a tug on your spirit that's like, don't you do this, that's the sacrifice. And it's just, I guess it's perception too on how you look at it, because I wouldn't necessarily call it a sacrifice. I would just call it a blessing, protection. But somebody can look at it like a sacrifice, like, okay, well, dang, I can't even do this no more. I can't do this no more. I'm feeling led that I shouldn't wear these type of clothes anymore, or do it. Like, okay, that's you. And if that, you can look at it like, I'm making a sacrifice to not do these things that I may have wanted to do, or these things that I see out here in the world that everybody else is doing, but to me, I'm feeling led not to do it. I mean, you could look at it as a sacrifice, and it might start off that way in the beginning, or feel that way in the beginning. However, it should turn into like, I'm being obedient, right? This is what I'm being led to do. Y'all do whatever y'all are being led to do, but this is what I'm being led to do, so I'm going to be obedient, and I know that from that obedience I'm going to get rewarded for that. I'm going to get the blessings that come with that. So it's not really a sacrifice, it's a change for the better. It's a change for the good. It just might be you looking at social media, or you're looking at the world, your friends and all of this, and they may be doing these things that you are no longer feeling led to do, or feeling like that, where your spirit is taking you and where your journey is taking you is just a little different. That's just growth and development in the journey. That's just growth and development in the journey. So all of this to say, y'all stop judging people. Y'all stop judging people. They're on their own journey. We can't judge anybody for anything. They're on their journey, and if their journey is taking them left, let them go left until their journey takes them right. Like, y'all don't have nothing to do with that. One. Two, go within inside yourself and self-reflect on you, and go inside and ask the Most High and ask Source to reveal what it is that you need to change, to reveal what it is that is for you and not for you. Individually, not tied on what your mama, daddy, grandma, granddaddy, auntie, cousin, anybody else got going on or thinking in their beliefs. Y'all get off of everybody else's belief system and go inside and have the Most High reveal to you your belief system. Have him reveal to you what it is for you. It's individual. There's no way we can have all of these fingerprints. There's no way everybody can have all these individual fingerprints, but we all got to do the same thing. Find out what it is for you. Find out what the Most High has for you. Specifically for you only, uniquely designed and divine is orchestrated for you. Like, it is put together divinely, specifically only for that match of fingerprint. Nothing else is going to match it besides what is divinely orchestrated for you, right? So that's for the next person, the next person, the next person as well. Everybody has their own divine plan that the Most High has them on. So we're not judging people. We're letting them do them. We're letting them do them. We're going to do us in the meantime as well. We're going to do what's right for us. We're going to seek source. We're going to go within and stop looking outside for some validation or anything outside of ourselves, because everything that we need, we already have. We already were born with. Every single thing that's going to get us through any part of our phases of our life is in us. We might not remember it. It might have to be revealed to us, but it's already there. And when you have that sense of knowing, when you go inside and you get those downloads and things start being revealed to you, you just know it. That's how good this thing is. That's how concrete source will make it for you. You just know it. Nobody can take it from you. Nobody gonna change your mind about it. It's like, I know in the inside. And then that's how everything in our lives have to be, because we are on this divine connection, because we are connected with source and we have that divine relationship. Everything that we walk through should be like that. Oh, I know this is about to happen. Oh, I know, because if source tells me something to do something, it's for a reason and it's going to benefit me, right? So you can walk in a sure knowing that you're doing the right thing if you are divinely connected with source and you had, and source told you, or you felt that gut knowing to do something from source. Don't let nobody tell you different. That's just all I'm gonna say. Y'all, we gotta break this belief system. We gotta break this. Everything has to be the same. We all gotta follow the same rules, and we all gotta. It just doesn't make any sense to me, because I know that the Most High is everything and all, and everybody has their unique purpose here, and everybody has their their own soul purpose. So it's not, one is not going to be like the other. They're not going to all be the same. So we have to go inside and really seek to see what it is for us that we are supposed to be doing, what it is for us individually. It is our own divine relationship. It's the most beautiful relationship that you'll ever be in your world. You'll definitely feel a sense of longing for it and needing and wanting for it. Like, every day I get up, I can't wait to do my meditation. I can't wait to spend some time with Source and Most High. I can't wait, because I get so much fulfillment from it. It's like, it fills me up. It fills my cup up every day, So it's just it's the most beautiful relationship that you'll ever be in. It's the most satisfying relationship that you will ever be in. It is just top tier. It's a top tier relationship here, okay? So I want everybody to experience it, because Lord, I've been on a roll. I mean, it's the best relationship that I've ever had. I've never had this relationship going to nobody's church. That's just the honest truth. I'm just speaking my truth. I've never felt the way that I feel, like this divine connection with Source, until I stepped outside of anybody else, or having anybody else's involvement in it. Once I took everybody's involvement out of my personal relationship, and it was just me and Source, just tell me, Source, just speak to me and lead me and guide me directly. Game changer. So I know that my beautiful souls are definitely, because the beautiful souls, and like I'm talking to in this collective, we're here. So I already know y'all feel me. I already know that I'm not telling you nothing that you don't know. But for those that may be new, for those that are just getting into this journey, just know that this is the most best and beautiful relationship. You're going to feel so much love inside of this journey. You're going to feel so abundant inside of this journey. You're going to feel like overwhelming. Like, it's just overwhelming is the best thing that I could say in all the great ways you can think about it. The overwhelming amount of love, the overwhelming amount of gratitude, the overwhelming amount of appreciation, the overwhelming amount of knowing that you can do anything, like the overwhelming amount of like security that you have in knowing that like anything is possible, because once you understand that God is inside of you, like you are a part of God, y'all like this, y'all creating together. Unstoppable. So we're unstoppable, y'all. So we as long as we know that, we just keep growing and elevating. I just had to like, I don't know why I wanted to talk about relationships. I'm just being led to. So I'm doing what I feel led to do, because that's the only thing that we can do, right? So, beautiful souls, I love you guys so much. Until next time, you guys just stay connected, stay beautiful. All right, bye.